What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another retro review of Noah's Arc Season 2, Episode 5. We pick up this episode with Noah and Quincy waking up, so we can definitely tell that they have been spending time together. You can tell this wasn't their first night together, so, we probably fast forward a couple of weeks and they've been hanging out and, getting to know each other better. And Noah is writing and he's, still struggling to try to change this, script and change these characters from straight to gay back from being gay back to being straight. And all of a sudden Quincy's alarm goes off, and Quincy's like, I still think it's terrible what they're doing to you. That's just ridiculous, and they're trying to force you into doing this, and the integrity of your script. And Noah was like, at this point it is what it is, like I just got to get it done. And he gets an alarm on his phone. He turns the TV on, and he was being interviewed on this PBS show. And Quincy, that is, I'm talking about. And he starts talking about the lack of, gay representation in, TV and media, mainstream media. And he starts talking about, a friend of mine was telling me about, a major studio forcing him to change his script from, the characters were originally written to be gay, but now they're straight. And of course, Noah's like, oh shit. And immediately his phone starts ringing, and it's Brandy. And Brandy's like, you need to get your ass down here to the station. To the studio, because we got to figure this whole thing out. This is a PR nightmare, because she clearly had seen the show and she told him to go watch it. And then Quincy gets a phone call from the people on the show and was like, we've got such a great response. We would love for you to come back and sort of do a follow-up. And do you think you could get your friend to come and talk to us about, the situation he's going through? So Quincy asked Noah, and Noah's like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Like, no. Like, I need to go try to save my job, much less go on TV and talk about it more. So he gets down to the studio, and Brandy, of course, she don't want to believe it, or she don't think that Noah was the one that said anything. And Noah is able to sort of flip it around and say, listen, I could go on the show. Like, they actually called me to come on the show, and I could sort of clear it up. And Brandy was like, yeah, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go on that show, and you're going to tell them that was your idea, that you wanted to change the characters from being gay, from gay to straight, and it was all on you, that the studio didn't make you do anything. And of course, that's not quite what Noah wanted to do. Noah really just wanted to explain what happened, that it wasn't like, that it was, an evolution of situation versus like gun to your head, do it or die kind of thing. So then, now down to Chance and Eddie's house. Eddie ended up losing his job. Eddie was like, that little stunt you pulled with my boss's wife, like, yeah, because obviously, it seemed like Eddie must have gotten a new job and he was still under his probationary period. And he was like, listen, they really don't need to give me a good reason. Like, I'm probationary, and basically all he has to say is that he don't think we're going to get along. And, the fact that, I might have had something to do with your wife leaving you, that's probably enough reason to say we ain't going to get along. Chance, of course, wants to sue and everything. And he was like, look, you already know that ain't going to happen. Like, I would never even be able to prove it, so that, that's not going to happen. But at the end of the day, we just got to figure it out. And so, of course, Chance feels like shit, obviously. And, they just moved into this new house. And he was like, listen, I don't even know how we're going to make our mortgage. Like, come on. We just got to figure this out. Chance feels like shit, obviously, because he never intended for that to happen, So Noah and Quincy are talking. And, Noah is like, look, I really need time to figure this whole thing out, because I'm really not cool with what you did. Like, you had no right to tell my story. He was like, and Quincy was like, well, I did ask you, but then they flashed back. And when he asked Noah, Noah was distracted and he was writing, and Quincy knew it. He was kind of, it's kind of like that. Let me ask you while I know you're not really paying attention, so I can get the easy yes. And that's kind of what happened. And Noah was like, okay, you asked me, but you knew that I didn't really, like, he was like, we should have sat down, had a conversation, and really weighed out the pros and the cons so I could make an informed decision. But you sort of forced me into the situation where now I got to deal with my boss, deal with, really you putting me in a position to further bend my integrity in order to keep my job or not. So he ends up going to go talk to Wade. And, he's asking Wade for his opinion or whatever. And at first, Wade is kind of happy to see him. But then when he starts telling Wade all the problems he's having with the studio, that's still sort of a sore spot for him. Because at the end of the day, remember, Wade was the big shot writer when he met Noah. And Noah, the roles has sort of flipped. I mean, he's delivering furniture now. And Noah is, down at the studio. So I think that was kind of insensitive of Noah to think that, to not necessarily see that. But then, Wade has been kind of playing it cool a little bit. And he ends up snapping at Noah. He's like, listen, I don't see what the big deal is. Like, go down there, tell him what you need to tell him, keep your job and keep it moving. He was like, I don't understand what the issue is. And he said, you know what, Noah, that's the problem. You always want your cake and eat it too. Like, you want to feel the way you feel. But, and I think in that moment, he wasn't really talking about the script anymore. He was really talking about him and Noah. And at that moment, the boyfriend walks in. And I'm like, I think at that time, the boyfriend was like, look, now I've been real cool about this Noah shit, which he has been. He's been a lot nicer than I would have been. But I don't like coming home from work. Like, you already pulled up with him last week. And yeah, you had some roses and shit. But you still was with him. Now I've been cool. Because he kind of got this look when he walks in and, Wade, he looking at Wade like, the fuck you doing in my house? And then Noah gonna make it even worse and was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I do want my cake and eat it too. I said, Noah, what would you say? What would you say? That is not helping nothing. So Ricky goes to go talk to Trey because Alex has been sleeping on Ricky's couch since Trey put him out. So, Ricky went to go talk to Trey like, listen, he knows he messed up, but he's depressed and he's upset. Can you please just talk to him? And Trey was like, listen, I don't know. Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I forgive him. I let him come back and we right back where we started. Like, I just can't keep doing this with him. But they kind of talk or whatever. But, Trey was like, look, it ain't me. It's your boy. Like, you got to get your boy straight. And when he's getting ready to leave, Guy goes to hug him and Guy tells him, he was like, I know what you're trying to do and it ain't going to work. So, of course, now Ricky, he absolutely believes Alex now because, Guy sort of tipped his hand to him. So, the guys all meet up, obviously, and Chase tells them about what happened with Eddie's job, and of course, they're like, damn, that's messed up. Then, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're like, they're like, we got to come up with a plan because Noah told them about the girlfriend situation. Even though I don't know why it took Noah that long to tell the guys, but okay. But he was like, see, that's proof. We need to go tell Trey. And they were like, no. You know that's not going to be proof enough. Like, we've got to create a situation where Trey sees it for himself. He's not going to listen to anything any of us say. Like, we're his friends. He's not going to listen to any of us. So they set Guy up. They give Guy a letter that's supposed to be from Trey saying, I can't believe, I've been holding on to these feelings for so long, but I can't resist anymore. I really want us to be me and you. I'm glad Alex is gone, da-da-da-da-da. So Trey get home from work, and who meets him at the door in some Speedos is Guy trying to kiss him and everything. And Trey was like, yo, what is wrong with you? Like, what's going on with you? And I think the guys came out a little too soon. I think they should have let it play out a little bit more, but it don't matter. The guys jumped out and was like, see, you got your hands on my man. And Guy was like, what you talking about, you crazy bitch? And he starts to try to go after Alex. And Trey was like, wait a minute. So Alex wasn't, so all along you've been trying. He was like, man, get your shit and get out of my house. So of course, so that worked out for Alex. They made up. Life is good. They got rid of Guy ass child. Guy going back over to Greenleaf. That's where you are now. Going back over to Greenleaf. So he got a nice tattoo on his back though. It was a real nice tattoo. Anyway. So then Noah is on the show. Brandy's in the front row with the studio execs. The guys are all sitting around trying to figure out what Noah's going to do. Because up until that point, Noah hadn't said what he was going to do yet. He still hadn't made up his mind about what he was going to say. Whether he was going to say what Brandy wanted him to say or kind of remain true to himself. So he's out there and they're asking him the question. And before he could answer, Baby Gat comes out because, of course, Baby Gat really was the only person that could sort of help him, but he ain't been fucking with Baby Gat since he kind of, left him at the, movie premiere with the girlfriend. And Baby Gat came through and was like, listen, I don't know what all y'all talking about. The character is gay. I insist that the character is gay. My boy Noah is going to write the best gay character that y'all ever heard of. And I ain't worried about it because we all know I ain't gay. And so, of course, everybody's happy. And Noah looks up, and who's standing over to the side? Wade. Wade had called Baby Gat and told Baby Gat that Noah needed his help. Baby Gat came through. And, of course, Quincy was like, oh my gosh, that was great. How did you get him to do that? And Noah, of course, is like, it wasn't me. But by this time, Noah's gone. Noah just came through like a thief in the night. So next thing we see is Noah leaving. He was getting he was getting, snacks or whatever. He was at the gas station getting snacks, and he was coming out the gas station, walking back to his car. Coming out the store. And these three guys approach him, and they start calling him all kinds of slurs, homophobic slurs or whatever. And he was like, look, guys, just leave me alone. Like, I'm just trying to get to my car. I ain't bothering nobody. And they were like, oh, you just try to get to your car? You ain't bothering nobody? And, he walks past him, and under his breath, he calls one of the guys a jerk. What you calling me? What you call me? And they basically end up beating him up. He tried to, he had some mace, and he ended up he did spray some of the mace, but it only just really pissed him off even more. And this is actually one of the saddest episodes. He was on such a high with everything working out with the studio and stuff, and then he got gay bashed. And just like with a lot of Noah's Arc, they approached a lot of these issues that Black gay men, well, all gay men, but specifically in this case, Black gay men deal with as far as the whole, and so I hated to see it happen, but Noah did get, gay bashed. And so we're going to see how that happens over the next, how that storyline evolves over the next couple of episodes. So that was episode 5. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.